This edition of the Fax.Koolaid Podcast Show is brought to you in part by Motion Pictures. Remember, the Fax.Koolaid Podcast Show is rated a special AE for any and everyone. View discretion is advised. Just kidding. I don't know how many times I got to reiterate that.
Greetings and salutations to everybody out there watching. You already know what it is. We're back with the Fax.Koolaid Podcast Show. It's a pleasure and blessing to come back to all of y'all. Now, look, y'all, this is going to be a long episode. This was a highly requested episode, probably the most highly requested episode that I could have dropped ever since I was covering Love Island, you feel me? This is going to be the HBCU/college ultimate podcast advice video, bruh. I'm literally about to project all my anecdotal experiences, all my friends' experiences, everything I done learned from my college and HBCU days into this video. Now, if you're not familiar with my content, probably most of y'all have came from TikTok. Most of y'all know me from TikTok, bruh. That's low-key how I started doing content in the first place. Literally giving HBCU advice and college advice. I literally became damn near like an HBCU figure. You know, I was doing the homecoming tours. I know I was doing all types of partnerships with HBCUs, everything of the sort. And now that I done graduated, y'all already know my content has literally expanded way farther than college and HBCUs. It's a blessing, but you know, we're bigger than that. We barely talk about it now, but obviously it's July and school starts next month, and there's been a lot of bro, when I'm telling you, countless amounts of DMs from not even just folks at HBCUs, folks at PWIs, different races, whites, blacks, like Indians, Mexicans, literally people just asking me for advice, you feel me? Even folks that are still in high school. So I decided to dedicate a whole episode, this whole episode 22, to straight college HBCU advice. Not gonna lie to you, that's what this whole thing is gonna be. If you're new here, you already know, drop a like, drop a follow, drop a subscribe. It's nice to have you, and welcome to the FAXTORY. Now, the way that I'm gonna do this, right, please understand this is about to be so raw and uncut. A lot of things I say not necessarily be things that I stand with or things that I do, my own experience through and through, but these are things that I've seen, and we just gotta be real about it, not gonna lie to you. Because college is a very important place, bro. It's where you really find yourself, bro. I always often say that when you're a kid, middle school raises you, but when you become an adult, it's what you do in college that really like turns, that's what really leads you through for the rest of your life, your experiences in college, bro. Now, tailoring this to the high schoolers, because those are the people that are about to be freshmen, right? Let's talk about beforehand. You feel me? Graduating high school and all that. There are some things that you need to understand beforehand. Your high school friends are probably not, some high school friends and relationships are going to fade away, bro. That's going to happen. You need to understand that off rip before you step into these college campuses, bro. What you usually see a lot of freshman years are freshmen in college still tend to latch on to their high school friends. They still try to keep that relationship on 10. And I'm not saying you can't. I got homeboys I'm still close with from elementary school, middle school, high school, even after I've now graduated college. We still like this, but you're not going to keep all your high school relationships. Over a certain amount of time, you're going to talk to them way less and less because you're in a different world. You feel me? Now, let me talk about that in a relationship wise. If you're going to a HBCU when you're now in a relationship and it might turn into something long distance, a conversation needs to be had. Not gonna lie to you, the understanding needs to be had. I've seen many situations of folks who are in a relationship all throughout high school, then they go to separate colleges. One goes to HBCU, one goes to regular college, or both go to HBCU, both go to PWI. Either way, a conversation needs to be had. There needs to be some type of understanding, because I ain't gonna lie to you, when you get into that different environment where it's literally high school but on adult steroids, bro. That's what college is. It might be difficult when it comes to a relationship, but I'm gonna get to that in the relationship part later on down the line. But again, this is beforehand entering college. That's what I'm talking about right now. First thing I would say first to freshmen, you're not going to need to pack a ton of clothes. And people say this all the time. The reason why this is going to be detrimental is because when it's time to leave, you're going to throw some stuff away, especially for the ladies, bro. And again, everything I say is verifiable by people that have already graduated college, that have been there and done that. You're not going to need that many clothes, because one, you're going to get clothes while you're in college. Then you're going to realize you're not even going to wear a lot of it, bro. You're not going to wear a lot of the clothes that you bring. Now, you're going to wear a good number. But if you pack your whole closet, just know when it's time to move out, you're going to throw away a lot of stuff. There's not going to be any type of space, especially if you're taking plane rides back. If you're not being driven, even if you're being driven, you're going to throw some things away, bro. And people tell you this all the time, but just know that Fax.Koolaid told you first. My next point, something you don't hear a lot. Let me just give it to you straight up. Folks in college do not care how much of the man you were in high school, bro. I'm just letting you know that right now, bro. I don't care. And look, bro, we all know in high school, your specific high school, who was the man, who were the top queens, who were the top dogs, top athletes, most popular, all of that. None of that matters when you get to college, bro. And it's just ironic because when you get to college, you start to see low key, especially during freshman week, during the first few weeks, who had that main character syndrome in high school and who feels like they still want to have that same energy in college, bro. But I'm telling you, folks do not care. You was the best athlete at your school. Unless you're now the best athlete at that college, folks do not care, bro. Nah, bro. You was the dude that when you walked in the hallway, everybody part the rest seat. You're not going to get that same energy in college, bro. Don't think you're going to get that, bro. I'm trying to tell you. Your identity that you had in high school is not going to be respected and automatically just craved in when you enter your HBCU, you enter your college, bro. Now, it might be some folks that still be able to carry that same energy, but they do it authentically. They don't force it. And during your freshman week, during your first few weeks, bro, you're going to see a lot of people try to force that same main character energy that they had in high school onto college. And those people often are usually the lame ones, not going to lie to you. But the good part about that on the flip side is that if you were somebody that was lame in high school or you were quiet or you had a certain type of identity that you don't want to keep, college is that time to change it. And that's just the biggest joy about college when you really think about it. When you go to a new college, especially in a different city, that's your opportunity to rebrand yourself. Now, I'm not saying be somebody that you're not, but be the person that you want to be, bro. That's your opportunity to start fresh, bro. I know many people that had troubling high school experiences that flipped it around the second they stepped in college, bro. They learned from their mistakes and they was able to be the person that they wanted to be and graduated being very successful people. When I was in high school, my identity in high school was not this, bro. I was not the person that wanted to speak around and give people all types of advice and be a mega content creator and just be the type of person I am now. But I got to college and gradually that started being who I was. College is where you're gonna find yourself and realize who you really are, bruh. So that's just the flip side of it. But if you feel like you're gonna be the main character off rip and you feel like everybody's gonna respect you the way they did in high school, you're in for a rude awakening, gang, not gonna lie to you. Pivoting back to the close part though, right? I can tell you, HBCUs have the finest people in the world. Let's just call it a spade. You're not gonna see a greater amount of beautiful folk, just gorgeous looking people. For the ladies, even y'all are gonna see men that y'all are attracted to, bro. People, a large part of it comes from the outfits. But let me tell you something, bro. Do not think that you gotta buy the riches of clothes to stand out at your HBCU, bro. You gotta utilize the big four, as I call it, bro. You gotta utilize TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Ross, H&M. Utilize it, bro. I'm not kidding, bro. You know folks gonna be utilizing Shein and Amazon and even Temu, bro. You'd be shocked, bro. I don't think that you gotta dress like a rich celebrity every day, because that's not the case, bro. Utilize what you got, bro. It's the cheapest, and I ain't gonna lie, not to like digress, and I've said this before many times. If a motherfucker wanna say that I'm broke for shopping at TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Ross, H&M, even Forever 21 when they were alive, watch me still pull. Like that was who I was back when I was in college. I got a lot of clothes for very affordable prices because, bro, you're gonna have to be able to save money, bro. And I'm gonna get to that in a second when it comes to money management. But don't feel like you gotta go to the top tier expensive places to buy these clothes, especially for freshmen, bro. Make the right decision. Speaking of things to bring, this for the ladies, right? This is very key, especially when you're in an environment where you don't got your parents around, you don't got nobody to really like protect you like that. Yo, I am not one of those people that's gonna tell you to not get a weapon. Not gonna lie to you, bro. I recommend every woman that's in college, or every woman in general, not gonna lie to you, y'all know we live in a dangerous world, get you bear mace, pepper spray, wasp spray, pepper gel, all of that junk. I seen a video, bro, of a girl giving advice to college women talking about y'all need a taser, bro, because if a creep want to mess with you and you got a taser, bro, I'm going to show them what this taser do. Baby girl, let me give you advice from a man, though, bro. If you're in the face of evil, right, let's say you're in college and you just walking somewhere and you encounter a crazy individual that's out to get you, right? If you use a taser on that individual, I promise you, bro, there is a great chance that if that person is really out to get you, you're going to get captured and you're going to lose your life within that 10 seconds of you tasing him, bro. The key is bear mace, pepper spray, pepper gel, wasp spray, all of that in that junk. Don't y'all be seeing the videos of the police officers in training? They have to get sprayed with pepper spray, bear mace, all of that. And they fold instantly, bro. I don't care who you are. The strongest of men cannot handle that, bro. You can't lift. I don't care how much weights you lift. I don't care how strong you are. I don't care how much your pain tolerance is all over your body. You can't train your eyes to handle that type of pain, bro. If you're in a situation where you need to protect yourself, ladies, I'm telling you, bear mace, pepper gel, all of that, no man can fend that, bro. I didn't seen the strongest folks fold at the touch of pepper spray to the eyes. Again, I'm not saying don't get a taser. Matter of fact, get both. But what I'm saying is tasers are for regular folk. You feel me? Like me and whatnot. It's for the regular folk, and even still, it's ways to get around that. But if you're going against somebody that's determined to harm you, bro, you need to up that exterior. Because God forbid, but you just might come across them type of men. But I guarantee you, pepper spray is it's very little amount of humans that can handle that. Even just the mist of it will turn that predator into a female dog. I'm telling you, the pink tasers and all that's cute, but ladies, stop flexing that and get you something real like that. Watch what that Bear Mace and pepper gel do to him now. And then just a side note before I move on, because it's probably going to be people wondering, okay, well, why can't I get a Glock? First of all, if you're in college, most places are not going to allow you to carry a gun. That could get you in trouble. That could literally get you sent to jail in some states. And then also, let's look at the practical and technical side of it, bro. Y'all acting like I could just get up on a random day, drive to Walgreens and get a gun license to buy a Glock 19. Can't just go on Amazon, search up a revolver, and then it's gonna be shipped the next day. Nobody just wakes up on a random day and says, you know what, I think today I'm gonna buy a semi-automatic. Like, even if you really wanna get one, most people procrastinate the process of getting a Glock. But when it comes to Bear Mace and pepper spray, which I feel like is the better option for most women, you can literally get that same day with not a lot of hassle at all. And then also, my beautiful ladies that y'all know y'all are gorgeous, where are y'all gonna stuff it on a regular basis? You know dang well that when you going out and you outside with your homegirls, you're not about to stuff a 40 in your sundress. I'm sorry. Trust me, you're not about to stuff a BA in your biker shorts. I know this. Bro, 90% of the outfits that y'all baddies be putting on, though they look good, they don't even support the carrying of a stick. Even if you do got it on you, do you know how uncomfortable that is to carry every single day? You could keep it in your purse, but even if it's a G42, that's a lot of unnecessary weight that's in your bag. But let's say you like that and you've gone past all those barriers. This brings me to the third reason. Let's just be real, bro. Most of y'all have never upped the Thule ever in y'all's life. The power of the Thule alone, like the recoil, is something that most people are not used to. Like, even the thought of it makes a lot of people hesitate, bro. And this can be verified with people that actually have experience in the gun range and have gun licenses and all that, bro. The recoil is so strong on these weapons that it's so easy to even miss in point blank range. It can catch you so hard that the second you actually pull the trigger, your arm power gives out, bro. Like, most women are not prepared for that, bro. And I always mention the scene of Set It Off when old girl was shooting in the gun range, bro, and she literally fired the weapon and then she literally dropped it because her arm like gave out, bro. That's how most women would be, like on arrival when it's time to use one. Then you also got to consider the mental battle, and I'm really like digressing, but I've always wanted to talk about this, bro. The mental battle of actually upping the Thule and actually pulling the trigger is something that most people are not ready for also. Even people in the army and police officers always say that when it's time to use it, they sometimes get a little nervous, you feel me? Like, when it comes to the aspect of taking a life, because most times you're never gonna, like, you might be in the face of evil, but you're not really thinking about killing somebody for real. Like, offing somebody is not something, it's not a decision that most people just often think to do off rip. But when it comes to like pepper spray and Bear Mace, even tasers, it's so easy to use. But that's just the off rip. I digress really hard, I ain't gonna lie to you, but that's just off rip beforehand. But now let's talk about when you get there, freshmen, right? Freshman week, let's get into it. I'm gonna paint you the picture that most of y'all are already aware of because, you know, social media is everywhere. But just imagine, right? First night of college, you done moved in, you feel me? Moving day was long, you finally in college, you finally go to sleep because you're tired. Now it's 6 a.m. and it sounds like it's a whole train wreck outside of your room. You feel like your dormitory is collapsing. Nah, that's not the dormitory collapsing, no. That's your amazing sophomores, juniors, and seniors coming to harass you and get you out of your bed. Now, it's not harassing, I'm just playing. You really gotta go with it. That's freshman week. You should definitely not be one of those people who don't want to get up for freshman week, bro. Like, especially the first 2 days, bro. Those folks literally are doing that so you can get acclimated with the campus, which I'm not telling you something you don't already know. They're helping you make friends. They're helping you know your way around. They're literally helping you get in the college groove, bro. And now you got people that don't want to get up, bro, that stay in their beds and just be there all day. Those are the people you don't want to be around. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro, because it's also fun, bro. You end up doing a lot of activities, bro. You end up meeting a lot of people. Don't be lame. But now that we got into that, bro, let's get into it for real. Now let's get into the relationships and the friendship parts. Let's talk about friendships and acquaintances, right? We all know the saying, Rome wasn't built in a day. Well, guess what? Friendships also aren't built in a day. Those come over time. If you think you about to go in college and meet your best friend on day one, you're greatly mistaken, bro. I'm gonna tell you or give you a tip on how to make friends, because most people have also asked me this, and I've spoke on this before, and I'll just speak on it again, because most people feel like you can just walk up to a group of people in the cafe and be like, hey, I want to be friends. That's not how you do it, and you know that's not how you do it. And I was a proud doer of this tip that I'm going to give y'all, bro. The key to making friendships, and I used to religiously do this to make friends or just check out people's vibes, not just because I'm a proud extrovert, but this is how I got the friends. This is how I started to know the vibes of people when you step on campus. The key is small talk. And it don't even gotta be small. It could be smaller than small. It could be tiny talk, bro. Remember Fax.Koolaid told you this. Any boy and any girl can use this. Let me give you a great example, right? It could be a dude in front of you at a line at Chick-fil-A or whatever, right? He got like a live flashy backpack or something. How am I gonna see if he's cool people while also showing him that I'm cool people? Indirect compliment. I'd be like, yo, where you get your backpack from, bro? Me asking that, he knows that I feel like his backpack is live. Boys know that's how you compliment indirectly, bro. There's two categorical ways that he could answer that question. Two different categories. This is the next part because this is where you react, right? Pay attention. He could be like, bro, I don't even remember, bro, and then turn back around. You see he not with the vibe. You see he not cool. Like that's not somebody you probably gonna be cool with, bro. Or whereas he could respond with, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro, I got this like a long time ago, bro. I wish I remember. Like, I think I bought it for my homeboy. He got a brand. Like, bro, what was the name of it? You could tell by that type of response that, okay, he might could fit the box. He probably cool, you feel me? Because, bro, I asked him a question. Even though he can't give me an answer, he's still interacting with my question. He's not just responding. The same thing works with women, but it's even easier for y'all as women because y'all are already nicer to each other as it is. Let's say you got a girl, she got some nice braids done, right? Or she has my favorite, a buzz down, you feel me? Straight middle. You already know what it is. And you peep that and you all like, I'm sorry to bother you, sis, but like, who did your hair? Now, again, two ways to answer this question. Category wise, she could be like, my homegirl, and then just turn around and that's the end of it. That's not the type of girl you want to be cool with. Where on the flip side, you got a girl that might be like, oh, my homegirl did it. She's like the top tier. Like, you feel me? That type of answer shows you, okay, she's cool. In both of those instances, those two people are going to continue to see each other around. Y'all are no longer strangers. It kind of goes into it for the fellas, a head nod. For the girls, it might be oh, hey, girl. Like, you feel me? Then that's how it grows. Remember, friendships are not built in one day. They're built as you see somebody over time. And I've always done that, bro. Again, and this is a more comical way when it comes to HBCUs, right? I can tell the vibe of a person through one specific question that goes for anybody. Hey, yo, do y'all know like what the move is? Like that question will always let you know a vibe of somebody, bro, because you got different ways that they can answer the question. Somebody can just be like, oh, I don't know, and then keep walking. Okay, you're probably not a vibey person. Whereas you got somebody that might be like, bro, I'm trying to figure out the same thing, bro. I heard it was this, and that. Now y'all have already had a conversation. Next time you see that person, bro, now y'all, you feel me? It's not strangers. You do that with so many people over time. You start to build acquaintances, and I'm gonna get to that in a second. But bro, that's how you create the friendships, bro. That's how you read people's vibe off rip in college, bro. Start with the question, add tiny talk, read their vibes, and that literally 10 to 15, 20-second conversation. That small interaction can tell you everything. Now, let me talk about friend groups, right? One thing I always tell freshmen directly, bro, please understand there are different friend groups for different situations. When I was in college, even though I just graduated, bro, I knew which of my homeboys I could go to the basketball game with versus the football game. I know which homeboys I could go to the party with, and I know which homeboys I could go to a study group with, bro. I know which homeboys I could have gone with on a mission. I know which homeboys I would never bring around women. You feel me? Not because they're weird, but just, you know, that's not them. I know which of my friends to take to a kickback versus a party. The common denominator is all these folks are my friends, and what folks don't understand is they try to group every single one of their friends with every single one of the activities that come within the friend group. That's how friend groups fall apart, bro. You can't, bro, like you can't expect your homeboy who's chill and be chilling to want to go to a place where folks got to interact and you feel me, his social battery's not high. You can't put that on him. Like, not everybody is the same, bro. You gotta know your personnel, bro. Not all of your friends are the same, bro. You gotta realize who is who. And people be like, oh, well, I don't got that many friends. What did I just say 30 seconds ago, ladies and gentlemen? This is why associates are important, bro. There's been many times where I done went to different functions or different scenes with associates. And let's just be real. In college, an associate is somebody that is not in your close, tight circle. Like, you wouldn't go to jail for that person, you feel me? You probably wouldn't give them the shirt off of your back if it was your last shirt. But that's a person that you don't mind being around in public. That's somebody you don't mind rolling with at like a little church, at like a little school event, you feel me? Somebody that you don't mind talking to. Like, you cool, you feel me? Like, we could be at this function together, bro. You're gonna encounter those types of people. And if you don't have those types of people, you're gonna try to look at those that are in your direct close friend group. And if they don't wanna do what you don't wanna do? Now you want to be beefed up, especially in girlfriend groups. We see that a lot, bro. But the smartest girls in college know that associates are very important, bro. If my two best friends don't want to come with me to this function, I got, people that I'm associates with, that I'm very cordial with, that I'm cool with, not to the deep friend level, but I'm cool with them to be around them in public. You got to find those types of people and utilize them, bro. You don't got to be this mysterious person that don't want to make no friends, bro. Like, oh, I don't trust him, so I'm not going to. You don't need that, bro. Because I bet you don't want to go to that function alone. So literally, and I'm going to get to that in a second also, bro. I'm going to get to a lot of things in this episode. We already done talked a lot, but, bro, we just getting started. Now, ladies, let me talk to you specifically, bro, because y'all have the most fallouts out of fellas and dudes. Out of the fellas and out of ladies, females fall out the most. So let me talk to y'all directly. Let me give you one tip on how to prevent this, especially for the freshmen that's getting there. Ladies, bro, and this is something you don't hear often, especially from a man. Do not pick your friends off of prettiness, bro. Like, bro, my God, this should be one of the rules of thumb when it comes to college friendships, bro. Those are not real connections at first. They're not rooted in real connections, bro. If you want to, it's kind of like when you see a rich person or somebody that's wealthy and you want to be close to them because of their wealth. You feel me? You want to be close to this girl because she's pretty. That girl might be a asshole, bro. She might be an aloof, bro. I was finna say a crazy cuss word. She might be an a-hole, bro. She might be, you feel me? She might not be a good person, bro. But when you want to roll with somebody and automatically get close with somebody because they're pretty and y'all look like a dominant friend group, yeah, it might work. But, bro, those friend groups never tend to last. Don't y'all hear the trope all the time that you've never seen two pretty best friends, bro? Now, you're going to see those. I ain't going to lie to you because, again, that is not the full ratio, bro. That's not always the full result. You're going to find some friend groups of pretty women. But you'll notice when you first get to college or at the beginning of the year, you see way more pretty friend groups in comparison to the end of the year, bro. I'm telling you, bro, and not trying to say that you need to be friends with girls that are not attractive, but I can look at a friend group where, they got the one pretty girl, maybe another girl that like looks good. And you might got two girls that don't look good, but guess what though? Those are usually the power friendships. Those are the ones that last the longest. You could tell in them type of groups where it's not just baddies walking around, you feel me? That they had a real connection. And those are the friendships that last way beyond college, bro. But when you start off of that bad route, she bad, I need to be friends with her. Like, no, that's not gonna work. Now, another way to make friends, I would say, is join orgs, bro. These organizations and groups that you're in, especially during freshman week, is an opportunity to make a whole lot of friends, bro. Joining org, the reason why joining the org is a smart way to make a lot of friends is because 9 times out of 10, if your org is based on your interest or your talent or something that you like to do, you're already in a group of like-minded people in a way. Like, I was in a group my freshman year, it was called Brothers United, right? Now, that group was full of men who really wanted to, be somebody, bro, who are not just focused on like the fun and all that. We want to be folks one day, like, you feel me? And even though, and that org might not have been the strongest org on campus, but through that org is where I met a lot of my homeboys who now share that interest of wanting to be somebody one day. Like, we out here getting to the bag. We all didn't graduate. We all out here getting to the bag, but we met a lot of each other through that org. Even like when I joined the skate org, bro, that skate org, I was able to find people that share the same interest in me, bro. Even folks that do SGA, UPC, or CAB, you're going to find people that are serious, that mean business. You might want to be around people that mean business and are serious, that want to be student leaders. You feel me? That's how you make them friends, bro. So that's obviously another like recommendation when it comes to that. And I'd say the only tricky part about that is some people are in orgs for ulterior motives. You feel me? There's some people that don't give a crap about the org, but they in it because they want to add something to their resume because they want to be Greek or something. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's the HBCU trope that's definitely there. We all know it, and y'all cannot hate on that. Those are some of them ways where the people in your org might not be people that are like you, but most of the time, you really meet people based off of them orgs that you're in. And that's why it's a good way to do it. And it's also a way to be interactive as well. So, joining orgs, great way to make friendships. And I'm going to get into the relationship part, boys and girls mingling. But let me say this also, bro. And many men need to hear this. Not going to lie. Many men need to hear this. Fellas, bro. College freshmen, let me tell you something, bro. You might not believe it, bro. But platonic friends in college do exist. Not only that, but they are very necessary, bro. Very necessary, bro. Even if you have only 1 or 2 or 3, even if you got 1, it's very necessary for you to have girls in your life that you don't see like that. Well, let me not say that you don't see like that, because my personal philosophy is if you're not my sister, at any given time, God could say that we need to be together and I'm gonna listen to God, you feel me? But it's important to have 1 or 2 or 3 girls in your life. It don't gotta be a lot. Them girls in your life that like, that's like gang, bro. Like, you feel me? Like, That's somebody that I look at as gang. I don't see myself flirting with them, bruh. The jokes might be there, but like I don't see myself ever wanting to break that friendship. You feel me? But guess what though? The tricky part about that though, those also don't come in one day. My two best friends, I mention them all the time. When I first met them, right, I didn't know that they were going to be my two best friends. I didn't know I was going to have that platonic relationship with them. That came over time, bro. You got to have that right discernment to know, okay, these are girls who are friends that I probably like. They fine, you feel me? I might get at them one day. And I know girls hate that, but sorry, ladies. Then you got your girls who's like, okay, we cool. Like my vibe around them is cool. I feel like I can tell them anything. I feel like I can go to them with advice. I feel like I can be the worst and best version of myself around them. Those are the platonic friends that you need, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Around my best friends who I did meet at college at my HBCU, I could tell them anything. I could be around them no matter what situation, bro. Like those, you need them type of friends, man. I'm telling you, bro. They're gonna be very necessary, bro. They're gonna be very necessary. Because let me tell you something. When you got your roster, perhaps you might be a ladies' man. You feel me? You're not gonna tell all them girls all your personal secrets. You're not gonna share with them all your deep anecdotal experiences, bro. Those are for your platonic friends. They're good for the mental health. Trust me. If you feel like you have to be attracted to every single female friend you have, I'm telling you, as somebody that used to think that back in high school, it's possible for you to have homegirls, like straight homegirls, bro. Like, and it's okay if you live a same principle that I live. My principle is I have my platonic friends, bro. I got my platonic friends, but if you're not them, if I flirt with you, do not be mad. And that's okay, because you got your platonic friends. And on the flip side, because I'm going to be fair, ladies, when you get to these colleges, right, don't force the platonic friendship on a man. That's how they end up turning around saying that they've always been in love with you, and you sitting there looking confused. Girl, you forced him into a platonic friendship. And I done seen this plenty times, right, where a girl be like, oh, my friend ruined the friendship because he admitted that he was in love with me. When was it ever established that y'all were brother and sister? Now, sometimes it is, and I'm not talking about for those situations, but I'll ask them, did you even ever know if he was attracted to you or not? She'll be like, bro, like, I just never knew. Well, you never asked. That's what comes, because at the end of the day, y'all are not blood. Anyway, that's not your blood. There's at least at the bare minimum a 1% chance that that person could love you, bro. That's what you got yourself into, bro. So it comes over time is what I'm trying to say, bro. You won't know who your platonic friends are going to be day one, but it comes over time. And the last thing that I'm going to get to when it comes to going out, because I'm going to get to that in a second, but this is in relation to friends. And this might be contradictory to what I'm going to say later, but yo, this is your college experience, bro. This is your college experience. Don't let your friend group stop you from having fun. Let me explain what I mean by that, right? And let me give like a quick little story, right? It was one day where I was chilling with my 4 homeboys, right? We was at the crib, we was at the apartments on campus. It was a game later that day. I was like, bro, like what time are we going to the game? They was all like, bro, I don't know. We feel like going, bro. You know, one person say that, then another person agree. Now 2 people don't want to go. Now the other 2, they don't want to go either. I'm like, I'm sitting there like, so we really not finna go to this game? And they was like, nah, bro, we chilling. I was all right. I got up. I took my keys. They was like, where you going? I was like, to the game. What you mean, bro? Don't let your friend group not wanting to go with you places stop you from having fun, bro. Don't let the fear of being alone stop you from experiencing your college life. Because I went to that game and it was the livest game I've ever been to. But imagine if I didn't go all because my homeboys and my friend group did not want to go, bro. Like, you can't let the decision of others dictate your plans, bro. Don't be dependent on the gang to have fun, bro. Boys and girls, don't let their not wanting to go there. Don't let somebody's social battery dying dictate you and what you want to do with your plans. It's gonna be times where you might go to a scene alone, bruh. It might be times where you might go to the cafe alone. It might be times where you might go to hump night alone. It might be time where you might go to a party alone. You feel me? This is why them associates is important, because you get to the function and you start to see associates and you roll with them. I digress. Y'all are going to learn that associates are important, though. Now, before I get into the college relationship part of it, you feel me? We're moving from the platonic friendship field. Let me tell you my top 6 favorite duos back when I was in college. These are friend duos that you are going to see. Many people are going to come across this video. Comment which duo you are. Not going to lie to you. You got the party duo, right? These are the 2 girls that you're going to see at every function, bro. They might not be the sloppy drunk folk. They might not be wilding, but you're going to see them at every function. They're going to have fun, bro. They're at every party, bro. These type of girls sometimes end up turning into bottle girls in the future. Sometimes club promoters, party promoters, all that. But them are the girls that if not that, them are the girls that at the bare minimum you're going to see at every single party. They're going to be lit. They always rolling packs. They always lit. The life of the party in 2 girls. Another one is the one thick, one petite duo. They go together like white on rice. I'm trying to tell you, bro. And it's funny because most times they're both bad and very gorgeous. You feel me? You're gonna see that duo all over college. You feel me? The third one you're gonna see, and this is one of my favorite ones. You got the two crash outs, bro. These are the girls that roll the dice. You don't want to get started with either one of them, bro. And the crazy part is you get started with one of them, the other one is probably gonna be 10 toes right next to each other, bro. And the thing about it that's really like interesting about this duo combo, most times they're really nice girls, bro. They don't want to be in no beef. They want to be nice. But the notion around is that they can go off at any minute. They're both hurricanes in their own separate but same ways, bro. Like they ain't even want to do it, but they got to try. Usually they're never the ones that starting it, bro. But they're the ones that will finish it every single time. You're going to see those. You're going to see those duos, bro. Household names for real. Another one you're going to see is the one Greek, one non-Greek girl combo, bro. This one is very unique, bro, because, you know, it shows the Greek still having that non-Greek as their friend, as the duo, you feel me? It shows that they for sure did not let the Greek letters get to their head. And that's a conversation for later in this episode. But, yeah, the one Greek, one GDI combo. Extra points for when the person that's not Greek is an athlete. I ain't gonna lie to you, it's lit. Another duo you gonna see are the two athletes that are fine but play different sports. Usually it's like track and volleyball, volleyball and basketball, dance and cheerlead. Like there's two different sports, but they go together, bro. You're gonna see that, bro. Most of the times, both of those girls are players, but that's debatable and subjective, depending on the situation. It varies. And the number one duo that I personally like that you will see for sure is the sweet and spicy duo, bro. The one crash out, the one nice one. Both beautiful, both ride for each other, but they're a household name, bro. And you'll be surprised, those two girls are usually the ones that last a lifetime together, bro. Sometimes those are the ones that start off as roommates. Those are the ones that didn't even know that they was gonna be all that cool, but they ride for each other, and they're known to be with each other. Most times, if they're alone, everybody's asking, "Yo, where's your sidekick at, bro?" That's them. But now let's get to the relationship aspect, bro. Boys and girls, fellas, when you're shooting your shot, the golden rule, and you don't hear this a lot, but I'm gonna say it: don't get the number. Get the IG. The Instagram, the IG tells you everything you need to know. You cannot find out things about somebody through their number. I need to know who you are before I even start talking to you, bro. And I went through this. I experienced this personally, bro. Anecdotal proof, bro. One time I was talking to this girl at a party. I asked her for her Instagram. She said, "Oh, nah, we don't do the socials." I was like, "Okay, give me the number." So I got the number. I'm texting her, bro. I'm like, "What do you do?" She was like, she works at this, mingling interacting place where, a lot of adults come to. I'm like, okay, whatever that means. Never heard of one of those, but that's nice. She was like, "Yeah, you should actually visit me one day at work." I was like, maybe, I guess. Bro, she sends me the Addy. Not the name. She sends me the Addy. I pull up to the place. This girl works at a strip club, a mingling interacting place for adults. Makes sense. And she for sure wanted me to pull up and drop ones. I don't do strip clubs. I don't even like them type of women for pursuing. But the fact of the matter is, she tried to hide that. Came across her IG later on in life and realized it's all over her IG. That's why she didn't want to give it to me. You never know what these girls are hiding. What they show you on IG is who they are in person. So that's why you need to get the IG over the number. Now, let's talk about directly when you're talking to the girls, right? Fellas, make sure that your breath never stinks. I used to keep Altoids on me like a YN keeps a stick on it. When your breath is kicking, the girl will never tell you, but she'll make sure not to ever let you get that close to her face ever again. She gonna suddenly get away from you, bro. I'm telling you, it's embarrassing for your breath to be stinking and you're going up to these girls, bro. You at the party or you on campus, you gotta get close to a girl to talk to her sometimes, and your breath is kicking, you already lost the battle before you even said a word. And brush your teeth. People are looking at your teeth, bro. You'll know, this ain't high school, bro. In high school, a lot of people got bad teeth, but in college you'll see a large majority of people got good teeth. So if you're one of them people that don't take care of your teeth, you feel me? Because everybody says they brush their teeth every day, but you're not diligently getting the dirt out of your teeth, bro. These girls will not talk to you. They'll never tell you why. You stink, or your breath stinks, or you have bad teeth, bad mouth area. The girls will never tell you. They just will never like you. Now, fellas, do not put all your eggs in one basket once you touch that campus, bro. You cannot shoot with every baddie that you see on the first week, or even the first 2 weeks, bro. Even the first month, if you really care about the longevity part of it, bro. That type of word gets around, bro. And when you start to see different mutuals on Instagram, folks start to pay attention to that, bro. Like, you try to shoot your shot with everybody, that word gets around, bro. And that's not a good look at all. You gotta scout, bro. You gotta just pay attention, you feel me? Just plant the seeds, but don't shoot yet, bro. But when you making advance at every girl, that's your reputation now. Oh, he be going. Oh, he easy. You hear me? You don't want to have that type of reputation when you just touch your campus. Now, I say this to all freshmen, bro. Do not catch feelings, bro. In the beginning, it's a dangerous game to play. I highly do not recommend it. Ask anybody that's had a freshman year. The chances of you catching feelings for one person at the beginning of your college life and it panning out 100% the way you envisioned it is microscopically low. Yeah, I get it. You might not know how to operate with these dudes, but ladies, let me tell you something. I'm finna give you this method on how to deal with the men of these HBCU, bro. If you want to know how to deal with it, and I've said this before, you need P.A.D.S. I've mentioned P.A.D.S. before. I'm not talking about the same P.A.D.S. that you use every 30 days. I'm talking about Fax.Koolaid's P.A.D.S, bro. The P stands for patience, bro. You need to understand that a lot of dudes are going to come to you, especially when you're pretty. Don't get annoyed by it, though. I promise you're going to get shot at, bro. There's too many men, there's too many options, bro. You're going to be one of them. Be patient. Don't be an a-hole, which leads me to the A. It stands for adapt. Already know that it's going to happen. Know what you're going to say to dudes that you don't want to talk to. Know what you're going to say to dudes that you possibly want to entertain. Already have these things planned out and already have the possibility. That's called adapting. Now, the D stands for decisiveness. Be sure of your decisions, bro. And this goes all across the board. I ain't gonna lie to you, shorty. You don't know if you want to link with a dude. You're indecisive about that. Don't do it. You don't know if you want to give somebody a number. You got to be sure of that. You don't want to, don't do it. If you're sure of it and you're decisive, give it to them. Be decisive in all your decisions. Like, never do something you're unsure of when it comes to dealing with men, bro. And the S, which is my personal favorite, because some folks will just never just understand it. Secretive, bro. Be secretive. Do not tell these other girls your business and what you doing with these guys, bro. Any type of business, whether you talking to somebody, whether you texting somebody, because you know how evil some folks can be. You know how conniving some folks can be, and you know how business spreads. You doing something with a guy, you want to get involved, let that stay between y'all two, bro. Dude, like, I'm telling you, many girls learn this lesson the hard way, bro. You tell a girl something about you and what you got going on, now she all up in that business. She's telling somebody or trying to disrupt it. You know how, bro, you know. Y'all know this already. Like, don't let you be dealing with somebody that's known. You got to keep that under wraps because that's easy bait for people to find that out. You got to be secretive. And the worst way this happens is by socializing, bro. Now, folks have heard of this word before. I've spoken on socializing before, bro. Socializing is the #1 way that business gets spread in college, bro. Socializing is when a group of girls that aren't necessarily close but just know each other off of association or just partner like relation, like the friend, like your friend has one of their friends and y'all are kind of gathered together and y'all start talking about dudes that y'all are either involved with, have been involved with, or want to get involved with, and the things that you've done, whether it be sexually or just anything of that sort. Them type of conversations, bro, those conversations happen way more than you think, and you most likely will never know that it's going to happen until it happens, bro. If you're sitting around a group of girls and y'all are talking about dudes, where y'all talking about Greeks, athletes that y'all know, don't be the one that's giving the information, bro. If you got to be in that conversation, just sit back and listen, bro. It's wise to sit back and listen sometimes, bro. Be slow to talk, but very quick to hear, because you'll be surprised. Most people that conduct these conversations are messy women, bro. They want to know information about what you did with, bro. You could say that you messing with this 1 Sigma, right? And this girl that's in this conversation, oh, what did you do with him? What was he doing to you? The second you tell him that, you're socializing. Not gonna lie to you, bro. The second you tell them what y'all do or what y'all did, you're socializing, because now they know that information. And I guarantee you, the reason why it's called socializing is because if it's with your closest friends, they keep that within each other. But these are girls that you're not close with, bro. That information is not gonna be concealed. That runs the high risk of the information that you just told that person being told to somebody else. Never socialize. And understand when it comes to secrets in college, bro, because this kind of goes back to the friend thing, right? In the secretive thing, the way that secrets spread in college, right? This is why it's important to not tell anybody your business. Because if you tell it to a friend, you could tell them, yo, this is a top tier secret. I can't have nobody knowing this, bro. And they'll be like, okay, I got you. But everybody has that one person that they would tell outside of the promise of not telling anybody. So let's say a girl tells something to her homegirl, right? The homegirl knows. She says she's not going to tell anybody, but she tells her boyfriend. So now her boyfriend knows your secret, but the only difference is she didn't share to him how important it is that he keep it to himself as much as you did. So now he has it. He says, yo, I ain't going to tell anybody, baby. But then he tells his best partner, because they have that loyalty, bruh. He tells his best partner, look, don't tell anybody that you know that. that type of urgency is not the same as where it started, bro. The original girl with the secret told her best friend, yo, this is my top tier secret. But now your girl's man's best friend knows this information as a regular comment. So now he could tell anybody, bro, because the urgency is not expressed. That's why you can't tell nobody. That's literally the way that secret spread in college. I'm telling you, bro, the psychology behind it is that you gotta have pads, bro. If you got pads, bro, you gonna be the most you gonna be the most cool. These dudes not gonna be able to, you feel me? You gonna have a good college life when it comes to navigating your way through the man. Now, in relationships, right? And I mentioned I was gonna talk about this later. Long distance. Now, I feel like it's disingenuous for me to say that a long distance relationship will never work at an HBCU, because I've seen it work. Now, it's also fair to mention that most times it doesn't. You feel me? It's a lot of temptations at an HBCU if you're in a relationship, bro. Luckily, I've never been in one. But you ask many people that have, it's not hard. And you see many cheating scandals, many cheating situations. That's why a conversation needs to be had. I know many people that just decide to get out of their relationships because they knew that they crave attention. They crave the intimacy. So if their person's not there to give it to them, it's way easier for them to probably get into cheating, bro. It takes maturity to understand if you can handle a long distance. But if y'all can handle it, by all means, do it. Be long distance. It's a lot of girls that don't even want to deal with these HBCU and college men. They just want to get on the phone with their boo every night, do the occasional every 2-month visit, and they're cool with that. But most people don't have what that takes mentally and physically. So I'm just, you feel me? When it comes to long distance, many people ask if I have a girlfriend and we're going to different schools, should I cut it off? Bro, it depends on how mature you are, bro. But just understand that the girls you are going to see are going to be crazy beautiful. HBCU women are the baddest ever. The baddest ever. And some women, and this can be vice versa too. It's not just women. Some dudes do this in the inverse. Some women will try to get you to cheat, bro. A lot of people find that thrill in making that type of situation happen, bro. College side pieces are real. I digress. If you know that you can do it, do it. Have that conversation with your significant other. It's probably possible. But if you know that there's any bit that you could break and cheat, don't do it. And that's just the fact of the matter. And ladies, going back to y'all getting shot at, I hope y'all are ready to get shot at even when y'all looking ugly. Yeah, it's going to be way worse once you step to that college campus, bro. See, the thing about us as men, right? Not only are we simple creatures, but we look and tell potential like it's nothing, bro. You could be looking your worst one day. You got a hoodie on, you got sweats. But guess what? If I see that your nails and toes are done from that Saturday that you was just out, and I see that you got a wig on under that hoodie, eyebrows still look good from when you was outside this past weekend, even though you don't look good today, oh yeah, I'm shooting. Like, folks is gonna shoot at you, bro. I always call it, bro. And then you smell good. I remember what I told y'all, the PTN rule. Perfume, toes, and nails will tell me everything I need to know, despite what your outfit is looking like, bro. You smell good. Oh, you already in the lead. And you got your maintenance done, bro. Folks can tell potential. So again, ladies, bro, just know it's gonna happen. You're probably already getting spectated by dudes. If you have one of those social media sites where all the freshmen are being like posted, you know, on their class page, chances are the same dudes in your class is already looking at you. They already scouting, bro. So just know it's gonna happen whether you look good or not. They will come to you on day one. Just be ready for it, bro. And don't say, oh, I look like a baby boy today. Nah, because I know if you clean up, you're gonna look very, very great. You're gonna look like the baddie that I know and think that you are. So don't be surprised, ladies, and don't be annoyed. Again, PADS. The A in PADS stands for adapt. Just know it's gonna happen, bro. And also another aspect of college when it comes to like the mingling portion of it, sometimes you're going to need to see people in person. Social media just won't do it. I always mention me being one of the CEOs of the Medium Ugly Committee. Most times girls got to see me in person to understand that this is where it's at. Sometimes. I ain't gonna lie to you. A lot of people have that same fate. You can see somebody whose their pictures, videos don't do them any type of justice, bro. Personality could also carry. You see a lot of times you gotta talk to somebody to understand just how cool they are for real. Just to see how really fine they are, bro. And I ain't gonna lie, it is a good problem to have, but still a problem nonetheless. Cause like you gotta get that person to really see you in person, bro. It's been so many times where you'll follow somebody on social media, and girls and boys can relate to this. I know it. You see somebody on social media, right? They see you and you trying to get at them, or you just trying to create small talk, you feel me? And they just not entertaining you at all. Then they see you in person. And it's just so funny because most times what will happen is they'll just look at you so many times, bruh. And you will notice that. You won't make it obvious that you know, but you will notice it. And you know that once this function is over, you're going to hit that person up and be like, bro, you see me and didn't speak. Now all of a sudden that person is texting you back because now they see you in person and they see that you're not the ogre looking frog that they thought you were. Like they actually find you attractive now. Now, yeah, I don't look that much as Shrek as you thought I did. Both genders, this will happen. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now, amid all of this, I do say, don't let these folks out here try to fool you into thinking that you can't be in love at an HBCU, bro. Don't let these folks try to fool you into thinking that it's impossible to find your HBCU love story, bro. Some people are not focused on relationships. That's good for them. Some people feel like they've been so damaged that nobody's good. That's them. But it's also people that have found many great relationships through college. It's people that have found the love of their life through college. Whether it was freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, or senior year. But what I'm saying is you need to have that discernment. You need to be able to be knowledgeable to understand who's being real and who isn't. You feel me? But don't listen, bro. Folks that be like, oh, don't mess with it. Bro, look, get your own view of this person, bro. In college, is going to be a lot of rumors, and I'm going to get to FIZZ and SIDECHAT in a minute, bro. Yeah, we talking about everything. The episode's already long. We're not even done yet. It's not even halfway done yet. You're going to hear a lot of things about a lot of people. Learn to get your own view of these people, bro. Learn to get your own view of these people. But that stuff I'm going to talk about later. What I'm saying is, bro, the chances of you falling in love if you want to be a lover girl is definitely there. Don't listen to what everybody says about it being impossible, bro. Everybody at HBCUs everybody's easy. Everybody's going. Not necessarily, bro. It's some people that's not looking to be in that outside life. It's people that's not caring about the rosters. You're going to come across a lot of pretty girls at your college, at your school, who don't want anything to do with rosters. They don't care about getting approached. They don't care about all these dudes being on their line. They don't care about them getting 1,000 likes on Instagram from a picture in 30 minutes. They care about finding their person, finding something serious. Y'all could be that person. Now let's get into the misconceptions, the unwritten rules of HBCUs, and stereotypes and phases as well. The first thing I'm gonna say is you are not special. People will stare at you, bruh. Ask the pretty women. Ask the dudes that got motion, bruh. Ask all the ladies, men, bruh. You're gonna get stared at, bro, whether you look good or not, bro. People will stare at you. Don't take it as disrespect. Just know that that's what happens. Things you also notice is folks are gonna go through a stage where they start feeling themselves, bro. Every person is guilty of this at least sometimes. You're gonna be humble, but people go through a stage where they feel like they a player, like they got real emotion. Like, who you feeling like, bro? Like, sometimes that ends with them being a little humbled. It ends with them getting their feelings hurt. But when you see somebody start to change just a little bit, like, that's gonna be there. Another thing you'll notice is a weird trope / pattern where I always say, most people's glow ups happen a semester in of college. You start seeing how everybody dresses. You start seeing, girls start seeing that wigs and weaves are the moves. Girls start seeing that getting their nails done is the move. Folks start seeing that flare jeans is the move. Folks start seeing that locking their hair, getting dreads is the move. You start to see adaptive dressing at HBCUs. I'm not saying everybody want to look like each other, but you'll notice from first semester to second semester, a lot of folks change their drip, bro. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but that's just something that people don't really notice. I've always noticed it, bro. Folks start wanting more tats. Folks start being more consistent with their haircut. You feel me? You start to see the adaptivity, the adaptation with people when they go to HBCUs, and it only takes one semester, bro. I guarantee you, ladies and fellas, all the freshmen, folks that you're going to see freshman week, they're going to look so much different. First day of the second school year, bro. You're going to see, that's not the same person that they were. All it takes is 1 year. And a lot of times, all it takes is one semester. You start to see the improvements. And one thing that you're also going to see at college, this is a trope that you will see a lot. You're going to see real P activities. One thing that you'll see about college, especially HBCUs, right? Oh, boy, you will be shocked. Who be at who house at nighttime, bro? That's something that bro, I'm telling you, bro, folks know how to really be P at HBCUs, bro. It will be folks that you see walking past each other every day, never saying a word, never even giving the side eye when they walk past. But at night, they with each other, bro. Not necessarily saying that they smashing, if you feel me. Not necessarily saying that they have an adult time, even though some of them do be, a lot of times even. But bro, folks know they have that one or two people that they won't tell nobody about, bro. They call them they little secret. They call them they little shit. You feel me? Bro, you see the real motion and the real P of some people. You might got a girl who swear nobody got access to her. Oh, she got her man that she lets have access to her, though. Telling you, bro. And folks will never know, bro. Everybody's talking to somebody. Everybody has somebody. Even if it's small talk or whether it's linking every day, you will be shocked. It will genuinely shock you who be with who. This is why everybody should really just mind their own business. Not gonna lie to you, bro. Many people have lived this life. Many people are living this life. Many people are going to live that life, bro. It could be two just known people that you don't even know each other. Hell, they don't even follow each other on Instagram. They not in the likes or the comments. They could be complete strangers in the eye of the public. But when they get together at night, you would think that they're in a relationship, bro. Just the closer relationships, you will see that. Now, let me talk about mentorship, and that's kind of going to go into later when I talk about classes and staff and all that. If you're going to have a mentor or seek guidance in somebody older than you, like a college big bro or a college big sis, that person needs to be credible, bro. That person needs to be credible. You cannot take advice from everybody, bro. I know folks, bro, oh my God, I feel so bad for this. Freshmen last year, they said that this one guy was his mentor. I'm like, what's his name? Dog, they told me somebody who was their mentor. All this person does is smoke every day. Not saying there's anything wrong with smoking, but he don't do nothing with his life. That's who you're taking counsel from every day, bro. Now, I'm not saying he can't have no good advice, but bro, you need to be seeking counsel and mentorship from folks who have some type of mental credibility or something to show for it, bro. That's very important, bro. You can't take advice from everybody. Not everybody's advice is good advice. If you wouldn't mind being in that person's shoes and knowing all of their shoes, that's probably not a bad option for a mentor, bro. Somebody that you look up to, somebody whose resume qualifies as something that's good. That should be a mentor. Don't let everybody be your college pal or your big mentor, bro. The last stereotype that I'm gonna talk about when it comes to HBCUs is one thing you gotta realize. HBCUs are not perfect. You feel me? And this is kind of where I'm going to separate HBCUs from like regular colleges and PWIs and all that. Your HBCU is not going to be perfect. If that's what you're expecting, then you're going to be disappointed. I always tell people, bro, NCAT is not going to be UNC. I always tell people FAMU is not going to be Florida State. Texas Southern is not UH. Mississippi Valley State is not going to be Ole Miss and Mississippi State University. You need to understand there's going to be some unprofessionalism at times. There's going to be a few inconveniences, bro. There's going to be a few buildings that may not look up to par, but you got to understand and accept the fact that HBCUs are not as supported as these big other schools out here, bro. And if you're expecting that type of experience at your HBCU, you're going to be like disappointed. I'm not saying to lower your standards, but just know what's in front of you. At my school, it was a bunch of times where folks were like, oh, why don't TSU do this like UH? We don't even get out the money like University of Houston, bro. Why would you think that we could do it like them? You feel me? But I feel like in a way, that's what makes the HBCUs unique in a way, bro. We got to get on our own. We got to get it out the mud. We may not have it as fancy and jolly like the big other schools that are around us, but bro, that's what kind of makes you appreciate your HBCU even more. Like once that's realized, then you'll be able to further handle the BS. Sometimes that's lucky what it is, but you'll be able to handle the mess and the BS that comes with being at your HBCU. It won't harm your experience some more. But if you keep looking at your HBCU and the things in it, within it, with the viewpoint of everything's supposed to be perfect, it might really like tarnish your experience. And I ain't gonna lie, learn to persevere, man. Persevere through the cheese that your school is putting you through, bruh. Like it's easy to complain, but at some point we gotta be like, okay, let's just fight through it and we move. We push through, bruh. Now, those are just the generalities of HBCUs, but now let me tailor things back to the freshmen. Let's talk about the dorms. I'm not going to get into things that y'all need. Y'all can find that anywhere else. That's not what I'm here for. One thing I will say is, fellas, get you some wall pluggers for the smell, bro. Because as a college RA, and I'm going to get to that in a second, y'all tend to stink at times. Get you some wall pluggers. Now, coming from somebody that was an RA, let me give y'all, the residents, some advice. Your RA could truly make or break your college experience, bro. Like me, I was the cool RA. I was the RA that never wanted to make anything harder on my residents. Now, if you disrespect me, that's another story. But your freshman experience lies a lot in y'all's RA's hands more than you think, bro. Like me being the pedestal HBCU RA because of my stories and everything like that, I can tell you from experience, bro, like you should want to grow that relationship. Try to pick their brain and don't play on their intelligence, bro. You're not going to be able to pull a lot on your RA. And if you do pull on your RA, chances are they probably just let you do it. Me personally, I used to pick and choose. I never forget when I was an RA a sophomore year at the apartments. Folks always would try to sneak in, bro. Like this one time, this boy was trying to come in to see his little shorty. The shorty was my resident. Now, I was always going to let him through, but he tried to play on my intelligence, so I had to entertain it a little bit. He tried to walk in. He does that same thing that all y'all think to do that works, which is put your head down and be on your phone and just walk past. Don't say anything, which is the number one way for me to know that you're not supposed to be in here. He tried to walk by. I waited till right before he turned the corner. He thought he had to win. I was like, yo, you stay here, bro? He was like, yeah. I was like, what floor? He was like, first floor. Now, mind you, I'm the first floor RA. He was like, first floor. I was like, oh, all right, for sure. You seen your RA today? I'm just sitting there just waiting on his answer. Because I like to entertain you sometimes. I ain't gonna lie to you. He was like, yeah, bro, I just spoke to him. Why? I'm like, bro, it's okay. You want to see your shorty? Just sign in the right way, bro. Ain't no reason to sneak in, bro. It's okay, bro. You gonna have your RAs that let things slide, but you, bro, trying to have that bad relationship with your RA should never be the case. I don't care if they're annoying, bro. They're doing their job. You should not be annoyed because your RA already has a lot going on, bro. Y'all done seen all of my stories, bro. Literally, like the one that comes to mind off rip, bro. I never forget, bro. I was going to sleep after a long day, after a long school day, bro. I'm tired, bro. It's 3 a.m. I hear yelling, bro. Intense yelling. Me as a man being an RA of all women, I rush out of my room to go to that room. As I'm running there, I get a call from the girl that's screaming. She's calling me like, yo, Koolaid, it's an emergency. Can you please come here? I need help. I'm thinking she's like passing out, having an anxiety attack, having a seizure. Like, I don't know. I get there. I'm dang near about to break down the door because my master key's not working. I finally get it to work. I go in there. She's creeped up in the corner. I go up to her. I was like, yo, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Like, what's going on? Tim, what's going on? She's breathing so heavy and all that. I'm saying there. She's like in the corner standing up scared. I'm like, yo, I'm here. Like, what's going on? I'm thinking it's a man in the room breaking in. I have a weapon in my hand. I'm ready for war at this point. You're not about to mess with my resident, bro. I don't play when it comes to them. Like, bro, Koolaid, like, looks toward the closet. I open up the closet, weapon in hand. I'm ready to start swinging on whatever man or monster is in there. I'm looking in. I don't see anything. I'm like, bro, did they already escape? I'm like, what's going on here? She was like, what are you talking about? You don't see that roach on the wall? You woke me up at 3 a.m. to kill a roach. Like, these are the things you go through as being a college RA is not, being a HBCU college RA is not for the weak, ladies and gentlemen. And the worst part about that, I didn't even get the roach. And the worst part about that, I couldn't even get to the roach. But back to the dorms. Now, look, to the girls, right? I'll say this. When it comes to roommate, right? Your roommate can also break your freshman year. But let me tell you something I've seen plenty times. Do not room with your best friend. Do not room with your best friend, bro. That is one of the ways to instantly break up a best friend. Now, again, this is not everybody, but most times, if you come into your freshman year rooming with your best friend, the relationship never ends up being the same, bro. Like, a lot of people don't even know how they best friends live, bro. But like, yo, like, it could be really detrimental to the friendship, bro. Like, most folks think that living with your bestie is gonna be all peaches and cream until you actually start living with your bestie, bro. Like, as a college RA, I've seen it happen dozens of times, bro. They come in close friends, even if it's not for freshman year, but sophomore year when they get to the apartments, they start to live with each other and the cracks instantly unfold. When it comes to mingling and intertwining more people to y'all's little friendship best friend duo, that causes problems. And when it falls apart, it falls apart bad. Like, that is the true test of friendship for real. Because let me say, on the flip side, bro, if you room with your best friend or your best girl and y'all make it through, nothing will break y'all up ever in life. Most best friends that you see that went to college together probably went through rooming together, bro. But the ratio and the comparison, the percentages is very different, bro. It's very, very different. That 1 year will break it. I'm talking about friends that have been close since high school, come to college, room together. By the end of the first year, it's over. Sometimes even the first semester. But that's just my little pinch of the brain from Fax.Koolaid. And again, this is not everybody. Having a roommate that you don't know beforehand, we all know how that could be. We all know the cons of that, but you'll be surprised. Most girls come into college, sometimes they have a roommate, and that roommate ends up becoming their best friend. They ends up becoming their ride or die. That's the real magic, bro. Most friends who end up turning into best friends, like homegirls, like to the end, sometimes started off not knowing each other. They just came in as roommates. You never know. You gotta let that experience come out. But it starts with being real. When you first get to your room and you move in, instantly you need to have a conversation. Like, once y'all's parents leave and it's just y'all two, y'all need to have a conversation. It needs to be raw and real. Y'all need to go over do's and don'ts. Y'all need to be transparent. See what this person likes, see what this one doesn't. When I started living, before I became an RA, I told my roommates, man, look, bro, I'm a musician. You're gonna hear music. Granted, the music's gonna be good, but you're gonna hear music. I ain't gonna lie to you. You need to know everything about your roommate, bro. You need to know if they like to stay up, if they like to have company. Like, and when I say ask everything, bro, ask everything, bro. If they like to have sex, and if they do have sex, is it loud? Do you struggle with messiness? Do you struggle with cleanliness? Are you a neat freak? Do you have OCD? Are you anemic? These are, bro, the conversation needs to be so raw. When y'all do that, you establish that respect to be able to get to know one another and to be able to work on y'all's, pet peeves and things of the such. Like, be honest, are you crazy? Do you be going off? What is your religion? You got to ask everything because at some point it's going to matter, bro. You live in the same space with this person for months at a time. You're going to need to know everything, bro. Being introverted with your roommate as soon as you move in is a curse, bro. Don't do that. You got to have the honest conversations. And then from there, that's when things can get good. But it starts with that foundation. Before I get into the parties and everything of the such, let me talk to RAs because, bro, ironically, me being the viral RA character for HBCUs and whatnot, I've gotten DMs asking people for like advice when it comes to like being an RA. And this is real, bro. Do not let being an RA or any school job take you away from your dream, bro. Don't let it take you away from your passion, bro. Do not let it screw your experience, bro. Your life's dream, your life's mission, and what you are meant to do in life is not being an RA, bro. If you find yourself constantly missing out on experiences, fun, peace, because of your RA or your school duty, you might need to cut that off. Because I ain't gonna lie, that's how I stopped being RA. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I never forget, bro. And I guess this is the story of how I got fired. But this is how I stopped RA, right? I ended up moving from a dorm that had dozens of coworkers to a dormitory that only had 3 RAs, bro. Same duties, though. Everybody got to work desk. Shout out Lanier West, I guess. Old school dormitory, but same duties as every other place on campus. Got to work desk, and it has to be split. I ended up getting screwed over one day because when my 2 coworkers, one of them being a old woman, respect to her, she may not take it that way, but respect to her, and another person who just so happened to be the school mascot. When you see this, I still haven't forgiven you for this, brother. They decided to just pick their schedule, first come, first serve. Oh, I'll work the morning, I'll work the afternoon. I got scheduled at night, not only at night, every night, but I had to work 26 hours a week. That was the most hours out of any RA at TSU. Mind you, I'm outside and having the fun, doing the most duties the most. And yet I got the most hours, bro. It was such a struggle. And it was one of those things where I didn't realize that I couldn't keep doing it. And I thought I could really handle it until my life showed me that I couldn't handle it, bro. I was constantly getting yelled at for being late to desk, constantly getting played out for not being able to handle duties. Mind you, this was only a few weeks into the school year. But I finally got that clarity when one night I got invited to a Tim's concert. Y'all know I'm Nigerian, right? And I'm a musician. I got to be at them type of events, bro. But I was supposed to be working desk the same time I had that concert, bro. I'm over here telling the dude that's helping me get in, you know, the connection, bro, I might got to sit at this desk for school, man. I don't know if I'm be able to go. He was like, you sure? Because I got backstage passes, bro. Like, you feel me? I get you back there. Now, in case y'all are not aware, Tim's is a Nigerian artist, African artist, who is also the finest woman probably ever. I'm not missing out on an opportunity to see Tim's up close and up front. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to go, and then I'm going to just try to get somebody to cover my shift. I asked the lady. She didn't want to help me, which I guess I can't really get mad. I asked my homeboy, who was the mascot. I asked him to do it. He said he was busy. To this day, I don't believe him. That's my bro, but I don't believe him. To this day, he wanted to be outside. So nobody can cover my desk because I only got 2 coworkers. But I'm not missing out on this opportunity. Like, I'm tired of doing this for the past 3 weeks. The first three weeks of school, I'm missing out on everything because I got to sit on this damn desk, watch these kids. They weren't kids, but that's kind of what that felt like. I was like, bro, I'm just going to go and then just see what happens. Bro, I'm in the concert. As I'm getting in through the backstage, I get a call from the boss man at the time. I ain't going to say his name. Blowing up my phone. He texts in the group chat, why is the desk empty right now? Mind you, he's never there that late at night, bro. But he decides to be there that day. I'm like, this got to be God's plan, bro. God is trying to tell me something right now. He texts the group chat. Why is nobody sitting at the desk? Who's supposed to be working the desk? I'm finna meet Tim's. I'm not coming into desk. I literally told him in that group chat, I was like, bro, I ain't gonna lie. It's supposed to be me on desk, and I'm not there because I feel like the schedule is all lopsided. I'm working 26 hours. I got to choose my hours last out of everybody. My other 2 coworkers, they was trying to defend themselves and not go for it. Wasn't being team players in my opinion, which is another thing. If you don't got good coworkers as an RA, it's gonna make or break your experience. When that happened, I didn't get fired that night, but that was the day I realized I couldn't be RA anymore. I have too many things that I want to do. So I decided to keep being insubordinate until I got fired. I stopped going to desk, and then I got terminated because if you quit, then you gotta move out that day. But I got terminated, which gave me an extra 10 days to be in the building. Chestnut checkers. I basically say that to say, bro, if I didn't stop being an RA, I would not have this platform. I wouldn't be this good at my other crafts, bro. You got to pursue your real purpose. And if being an RA or your school job is taking you away from that, you might need to cut it off because that's what's going to be better for you in the long run. Now let's talk class before we get to the parties and the other junk. Again, you will see your fair share of unprofessionalism in your professors and all that. You're gonna see the trash professors. I'm gonna just keep it a band, but not all of them are trash. Learn to build a relationship with the good ones. The professors that are good, build that relationship with them, bro. You might could be introverted with everybody in your class, everybody all over campus. Your professors are not the people to be introverted with and quiet with, bro. Those are the connects. And bro, if you want to talk about real connects, and this is a secret that most people do not tell when it comes to HBCUs and colleges, be cool with campus security, man. Not gonna lie, it's so many times where TSUPD, shout out to TSUPD, I know y'all gonna see this video, it done saved my ass so many times. But if I was somebody that I wasn't cool with them, or if I was somebody who didn't make my face known to them being a good kid, I probably would have gotten in deeper trouble than I really have. Having those people know that they're always gonna look out for you, bro, that's the key, bro. Like, folks don't even know. You see them people who just have that relationship with campus security, with the staff members, with the CAF ladies, with the lunch workers, with the professors, with the administrators, with the advisors. Those are the people that tend to like be the most successful, bro. Those are connects. Telling you, bro, you could be quiet with your campus. You could be quiet with your other college friends as much as you want to, but being quiet, not building that connection with the right people on your campus, the adults, it's not a smart move. That's not best for business. Now, let me talk GPA in class and everything like that. I ain't gonna lie, rate your professor is always not gonna be accurate. Sometimes you're gonna get some BS as a teacher. But look though, as far as GPA goes, 2.5 is not that high. Okay, if you got if you got anything under a 3, you shouldn't be that proud of that. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. You should definitely want to aim for the stars. Now, I'm not telling you something that you don't already know, but let me say this though. ChatGPT can't solve everything. There is no college student that can use ChatGPT on every single one of their assignments, like 100% of it, bro. And if you are, you're gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a big problem when you graduate. Not gonna lie to you, bro. And that's gonna be a conversation for another episode, because I feel like ChatGPT and AI is really ruining people's intelligence, and it's taking them away from their real jobs that they're supposed to be, because now they're underqualified because they cheated their way through college. But I'm trying to tell you, you're gonna have to actually sit your butt down and study at some point in college, bro. And that might be hard. You feel me? But if you're somebody like me, I don't study in my room. Utilize the library when it comes to studying, bro. It sounds cliche and it sounds like a platitude, but look though, the library is a great place to lock in. If you're somebody like me that can't study in your room, I can't edit. Even now, I can't edit videos in my room sometimes. I can't lock in my room sometimes. You might need to get out and go to an environment where people is putting in that work. And ask people that have done it, bro. When it's time to really lock in, go to that library, you can get a lot done. Also, if you're a smart class student, you would know that there's a difference between outside friends and classroom friends, bro. I got folks in my building, in my major, that I'm cool with on an educational basis, bro. Like, those are folks that I'll be around when it's time to get busy, bro. Because, bro, all your homeboys, bro, you might have some homeboys that don't care about getting their work done. They don't care about their GPA. They just trying to get their degree. You know, C's get degrees is the motto of some people. You don't want to be the person that get the C to the degree. You might want to be the person that maintains a 3.6, 3.7, even a 4.0 if you're lucky. You need to have folks in the classroom in your major that you are close with, bro. Like, yeah, you might be at the party on Saturday night, but Monday morning, it's time for that study group, bro. You got to reach out to them other friends that are through major and through your classroom. This smart people already know, and they utilize it. When it's time for business, I go to them people, not necessarily to my partners and everything like that. I'm not saying your partners can't be in there if they're dedicated enough, but you got to be able to know those people who are smart. Be close to them people too. Just like you close with your homegirls that be outside, be close to them folks that are geniuses in the classrooms, bro. Not saying you gotta just be the most buddy of buddy, but utilize people that are in your major, that have the same dream as you, that are like-minded, that when it's time to get down and study, not be distracted. Those are the people that you can go to. Group sessions and all that. Utilize the friends in the classroom as well as outside the classroom, freshmen. I'm telling you. Now, let me speak on this because many freshmen are not going to be informed. Let's talk about refunds. The absolute dumbest thing that you can do is blow every single one of your refund checks, bro. I'm gonna give you the band. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. If you really want to see the difference between the wise college students and those that aren't quite there, ask them what they spent their refund checks on, bro. Like, their refund, your refund check could literally be the secret weapon to change your life, bro. I know folks who blew their refund checks on chains, shoes, gas, materialistic things that won't do nothing. Meanwhile, I know people who spend the refund checks, because the refund check is low-key not your bread, even if it is. I know people that have spent their refund check on a car. They saved 4 semesters of refund checks, locked it away in a savings account, and ended up buying a cash car. Now they can move around easier. They can go to more places now, get more connections. That's how they looked at it. I know people that use the refund checks to invest in themselves. Like me, I took one of my refunds and I bought a piano with it. I'm a full-time musician now as well as a content creator, but it was from me buying that piano so long ago. I was able to buy it, practice it, and now become the person I am. I was able to buy it, practice, and get better. Don't just blow your refund checks when I'm saying, freshmen, because when you get it, you get that bank mobile notification, it might be a rush. Not gonna lie, you might be like, oh, we up now. Don't blow it. Spend it wisely. Like, come on, shorty, you can't use all your refund checks to buy wigs, bro. The same wig you're gonna take out in a few weeks. And while I'm saying that, why you might think it's funny, the fellas got it way worse. I was already. You know how many of my residents spent their refund check on like bags? Yo, where you get that Gucci bag from, bro? But you know that refund check just hit, bro. I just be like, yo, money management is important. Now, let me talk about the calf. And I'm only gonna talk about one thing, and this could have been in the freshman trope thingy, bro. Freshman 15, the calf. Now, let me tell you something. Freshman 15 is very real. It definitely sneaks up on you. I've seen it go good. I've seen it go bad. But the key to having a good freshman 15 is being in the gym. Ask many people, especially women. That freshman 15 could turn your body into like something crazy, bruh. But it also can turn into something crazy in a bad way as well. If you're in that gym though, bro, the food will get distributed all throughout your body in places that you're working on, bro. If you're in the gym, freshman 15 will be sensational for you, bro. I know one specific girl that I went to high school with, bro. She went to college skinny, bro. I'm talking about like a stick. No disrespect to the skinny women, but she was a stick. She went to her HBCU. Bro, by the time she came back that next summer back to her hometown, I was like, yo, you been eating and the food's been going to the right places, if you feel me. But I done also heard of stories of girls who went to campus, they got the freshman 15, because you're going to be eating in that calf. Sometimes freshman 20, if you really in there for real. Like, that's talking about in it for real. And they came back home on break and folks couldn't even recognize them, bro. Like, it could really go good or bad. It's hit or miss if you handle it right. Now, let's get to the fun part, bro, because I ain't going to lie. This is probably the longest episode we've ever had in Fax.Koolaid history. Let's talk about the parties. I'm going to start with the ladies in the place with style and grace. Golden rule is to be aware of the creeps. There's going to be a hella grown man at these parties. I don't know why you're a grown man at a party full of 18 to 23-year-olds. That part will never be understood, but they will be there and expect them to be there. You got to be aware. And see, ladies, this is why trying to find friends during freshman week is so important, bro, because you got to find girls to go with you to these parties. And it's important to find those with a girl mentality. That's who you want going with you to these parties, bro. And it's very important to find those girls. And if you really want to get lethal in the smartest way possible, find you a girl that likes to party but doesn't drink. Those girls end up being the best babysitters. The babysitter is very important, as y'all already know. Whenever it's a lot of BS going on at the party, things that don't need to be happening at these parties, the babysitter is there to make sure nothing happens to you, bro. We already know you're gonna start drinking. You're not gonna be sober. The girl that likes to party but doesn't drink is always those are superheroes, bro. We don't appreciate them as much, bro, and that's why you can't ever take advantage of your babysitter, bro. Yeah, it might be good for them to be able to take care of you being a girl's girl, but when you start to overdo it, and now your babysitter can't even have fun, yeah, that's where you've gone too far, bro. Nobody likes that type of person, and a reputation will be said about you. I ain't gonna lie. I already told y'all about the time during the Q Dog party during homecoming week at my school. It was a friend group of 3. One of the girls got incredibly, absurdly drunk. Started embarrassing the friend group. Started getting aggressive, because you know some girls get hella aggressive and hella fighty whenever they get drunk. Them 2 girls ditched the girl. She ain't even have a ride home. At the end of the party, she just sitting there at the party not knowing what to do. She took advantage of her babysitter though. You cannot be that girl. That's not a good reputation to have. But that's all about drunk etiquette, which is what I'm finna get to now. Now, ladies, when you get to these parties, you do not and should not be taking a shot from every single person that offers it to you, bro. The more you take past your limit, the more your body is gonna fool you into thinking that you can take more. You already know. You start off the night, the liquor tastes terrible, but then 2 hours later, now everything starts to taste like water. You got to be aware of these things, bro. Because also indirectly, people will see you taking more shots and they'll feel like you can handle it. They going to offer you some more. And you really can't even blame them, because in the moment you look cool. You think you look cool as well until you end up folding. Everybody likes to look like them ones until they realize that they not. I done seen the strongest of drinkers fold right before my very eyes, bro. Now, some people will never experience that because they're smart enough to know their limits. And ladies, you need to know your limits. But trust me, if you feel like you can take everything and not fold, you're in for a rude awakening, bro. And some people might just have to learn the hard way, because that's how most people learn it in the first place. Ladies, it's very important to not dress, you feel me? I understand y'all want to be hot girls and city girls, But you got to control that dressing. I ain't gonna lie to you. Again, it's creeps around, bro. You don't want to send off the wrong message, bro. Of course, it's your body, it's your outfit, your wardrobe. You can wear whatever you want to wear, my love. But understand that people are watching. People are looking, bro. And you still got to represent yourself in a very classy way, even though you're still bad, even though you're still gorgeous. Still represent yourself in a very classy way. Now, when it comes to like how you dance and all that stuff, again, we being real with it, bro. The less that's there. But you don't want to be that girl that's dancing on every guy. You don't want to be that girl that's dancing on every guy, because after a certain amount of time, dudes don't even want to get behind you anymore, because it's like you just giving them out to everybody. The notion is going to be that you're going. You feel me? Then don't be letting these dudes do all that crazy stuff while they're behind you. You feel me? I hate seeing girls get dry humped. And again, we being real, we being raw and real. Girls be getting dry humped at parties while they're giving the dance. Don't let him do that to you, bro, especially if things are being recorded. Now, if nobody's recording, of course, that's your privacy. Even though people might still be looking, they can't really see as much because it's dark. Most parties are going to be dark. Don't be letting these dudes do all that crazy stuff behind you while you giving it to them during the dance, bro. And bro, this is also lady specific as well. These DJs and MCs are going to say wild shit on the mic, bro. When they tell you to repeat something, don't repeat no BS, bro. Bro, when I was on my HBCU tour, bro, I went to this one school. I ain't gonna say the name. Everybody was lit, I guess. The DJ was all like, if you know you not finna go to church tomorrow because you lit with the devil tonight, say hell yeah. I said, yo. Meanwhile, every girl just saying that because they're too drunk to realize. I told my homeboy, yeah, we got to go. But it don't even gotta be that drastic. Sometimes I done heard it, bro. I done literally done heard a DJ be like, yo, if you know you about to go home and give up your draw, say hell yeah. Everybody saying hell yeah. Don't be that person, bro. You don't have to respond, bro. You literally do not have to do that, bro. And for the love of God, don't be that embarrassing girl, and we see this on social media every year, that goes on that stage and starts doing actions. I'm not talking about regular actions like dancing, bro. I'm talking about next level. Don't be going on the stage just being freaked out, bro. This is why you need to have them homegirls that's with you to look out for your image, bro. The babysitter is so important, bro, because you might not be in your right mind to realize that you finna do some cheese on that stage in front of millions of cameras. This is drunk etiquette to all my beautiful ladies. Protect your rep. Now to the fellas. And to the fellas, bro, it's not really, you feel me? We're guys. I shouldn't have to tell y'all these things. Y'all should already know, but I'm going to say it anyway. My biggest advice for college when it comes to parties, bro. 1, don't be a creep. 2, keep gum on you. 3, make sure your cologne smells good. If you do them 3 things, you're going to be good at every single party that you go to. Not going to lie to you. Like, really think about it, bro. You'll be shocked how many times if you smell good and your breath smell good, bro, a girl don't mind being around you at a party. A girl possibly don't mind dancing on you. A girl possibly don't mind letting you talk to her. Most times your cologne will get you noticed before you even say anything, bro. And that's what most folks don't even understand. But ask the ladies, though. Again, fellas, like, at all times, you should be keeping mints on you. You should be keeping gum on you, especially at these parties, bro. Now, when it comes to interactions with women, you feel me? Don't be the type of guy you should never want to be. Don't be the one that follows the girl all around the party because she gave you one dance, bro. No, don't be the one to follow the girls around the party, period. Now, folks are gonna hear this and be like, oh, that's common knowledge. You will be shocked what folks start doing once they get drunk, bro. You're not even being discreet with it, bro. You trying to keep an eye on the shorty, but you get drunk. And now you keeping an eye on her the whole time. Yo, not only has she noticed you, but her whole friend group has noticed you. Now they got to stay away from you at all costs, bro. Now that's the notion that you're a creep. You can't be a creep, bro. And that's another thing. Make sure everything you do when you're getting danced on is consensual. Don't be back there doing crazy things while that girl is throwing it back on you, right? And it's not consentivized, bro. Like, absolutely not, bro. And it's funny because I mentioned drunk etiquette for ladies, but guys, you could have it too, because let me tell you something. Only one thing is worse than a woman passing out blacked out drunk because she couldn't handle liquor, and that's you as a man doing the same thing. Because the MC and the DJ will actually clown you in front of everybody. You know, sometimes the DJ and the MC will have grace on the girl because she blacked out. You feel me? But if it's you, I personally know my partners at a school not too far from mine, PV. Shout out Azante and Rondo. If you're a guy and you're embarrassing yourself because you drunk, whether you blacked out or you done passed out or you just tweaking, oh, they will clown you on that microphone. All of AR promos will clown you, bro. Like, no, you don't ever want to be that guy anywhere, bro. Know how to control your liquor no matter what, bro. Because when you wake up the next day not remembering anything from the night before, oh, everybody's going to remember that. And it's going to stay with you. You ain't never going to be able to live it down. One thing I would tell you, though, you feel me? Learn how to read the room. Know how to read drunk women, bro. You should not be getting behind a girl that looks sloppy drunk, because even if you have best interest at heart, you just trying to have fun, folks around you will see that and be like, bro, you just taking advantage of her because she's drunk. That type of notion on you. And know how to let go, bro. If she does give you a dance, bro, once the dance is over with, bro, let go. Like, don't be I hate seeing dudes when they get in a dance from a girl and now she give him one little dance. Now he had to take the mile. Now he's over here holding her. She not even comfortable enough to let him know that she want to get turned loose. But you turning her every way but loose. Now, if that's what she wants to do, again, you're agreeing, bro. Everything has to be consensualized. She wants you to do that by all means. Tug her. Don't let her go anywhere. That goes back to reading the girls, taking what she's giving you. And also, I mentioned this a few times. I'm going to keep saying it. Be aware. You're going to see some weird things at these parties. You're going to see some girls shaking it. And that girl that's shaking it is not a girl. Bro, we done seen the videos on social media when a few dudes have got caught lacking, bro. You need to be sure of everything that you're looking at, everything that you're trying to get with at these parties, bro. Because it's dark. You're not going to be able to see a lot of stuff. And the last thing you want to do is be recorded getting behind something that you didn't intend to really get behind because you ain't know what it really was. It's hard. And again, bro, and the drunker you are, the harder you might be able to peep and tell the difference, man. That's why I make it my duty. I made it my duty when I was in college to always look out for dudes that was lucky just a little bit out of it. And they getting behind somebody that's not what they really portray themselves to be. Because you're not going to be able to look at somebody's face like this or tell a strong jawline. Because again, they're bent over. That's why you gotta be smart. You gotta be aware. And it's good because fellas, we gonna be some dudes around you that'll probably warn you, bro. But just be aware, fellas, never get caught lacking because that's something that's hard to come back from. Remember Fax.Koolaid told y'all that. I didn't see it too many times. Now, when it comes to mingling with women, again, these girls will choose. Especially when they get drunk, bro. The eye contact. Nothing wrong with a girl standing at you eye contact, but know how to read it, bro. And one thing I always say, bro, rule number one, when you see something nice, never press the issue till she looks more than twice. A lot of girls accidentally look at a guy one time. There's nothing that a girl hates more than making eye contact with the wrong guy. Not gonna lie to you. If a girl looks at you one time, that's not the key to go in. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now, twice, depending on how she does it, maybe. But that third time, it's a go. Because you know if she's looked, she probably want to get took. You feel me? Like, we can be honest. Now, when it comes to dressing for these parties, and this can go for both genders, bro, please never, and I ain't gonna lie, never ever wear your best outfit to the party. It's dark, nobody's looking at your outfit, especially your shoes. If you feel like you should wear your best pair of Balenciagas, your McQueens, your best J's, your Yeezys to these parties, you're in for a rude awakening, bro. Not only is nobody gonna notice your shoes, but they're gonna come out very, very dirty, and you know this, bro. Wearing your best shoes to the party is the absolute worst thing that you could do, bro. Nobody's looking at it. You gotta get you a pair of shoes that's not in the best condition, but still good enough so that when the party's over with and somebody sees your feet, you don't got Skechers on your feet. But do not wear your best fit, bro. You're gonna waste it. And of course, and I always say this just for the sake of not starting any problems, but be aware of the Greeks. And now I'm gonna mold into that conversation because y'all gotta be informed on that. I'm gonna just say this to all the incoming freshmen, bro. I hope you've enjoyed the way that Dreams and Nightmares sounds to you. I hope you've enjoyed the song No Goofy Buck. I hope you've enjoyed the song Wipe Me Down. I hope you've enjoyed the song Pretty Boy Swag. I hope you've enjoyed Finito. I hope you've enjoyed all these songs because once you step to your college campus, especially your HBCU, those songs will never sound the same. I personally wish I would have known that before I got to college, because those songs are for the Greeks now, and there's nothing that you can really do about it. I promise you're never gonna hear it the same way. The Nasty song, these songs will never sound the same to you ever again. Every time you hear them songs, you're gonna hear two claps, and I was on and popping. Now at parties, folks call these the party ruiners, and I ain't gonna lie, sometimes it's gonna feel like the Greeks are ruining the party. That's why and again, everything I say about Greeks, I'm gonna keep reiterating this. These are things that are also coming from Greeks that Greeks told me to talk about on my pod. So can't nobody get mad at what I'm saying. It might be a sensitive topic because I'm not Greek, but I'm gonna say it anyways because it comes from the mind of the Greeks and the minds of those that are not in it. Some people view the Greeks as the party ruiners, while you have some people that enjoy watching them stroll. You're gonna get a tale of both. It's gonna be times where it's very annoying. It's gonna be times where it fits the vibe. But look, at the party, when you hear them songs, you start hearing folks clap, just know that there is a trail coming somewhere. There's a line coming somewhere. There's a train coming somewhere. Just move out the way and just let them do their thing. But if you hear me, you got motion, you don't gotta let them steal the attention. You feel me? Because you'll see a lot of the girls turn their attention for whatever they was talking about to, the shoulder shakers. Shout out my boys that's new. They'll turn their attention to the hopping Lakers. Shout out all my homeboys that's brides. They're gonna turn their attention to those that are strolling. This goes back to adapting to your new college life. That's gonna happen. But now let's talk about them outside of the party life and all that, right? There's always been talk about, should I talk to somebody in D9? Now look, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like it's disingenuous for folks to tell people to stay away from D9 girls and boys. Everybody's different whether y'all like it or not. It's very situational. I've been on the record on my show, this went viral, for calling the deltas mean. Do I still believe that? Yeah. But I know some reds that is some sweethearts, bro, that wouldn't hurt a fly. The nicest people in the world. Everything is different. I done been on record to say that I'm with the poodles once upon a time, but I know some poodles that ain't shit. Like you gonna see that, you feel me? I always mention my first heartbreak in college was by a Zeta, but I know some Zetas that would never do that. Let me say Zeta before they start tripping. Even in the inverse, you got girls that'll say, always stay away from 1911. But you got folks that's in them orgs that would never do that, bro. They would never play a woman. They will never run that type of game like that. When you're dealing with these folks, you feel me? You really got to read that person individually, bro. And you got to know what type of Greek they are. But if you listen to all these people saying, oh, stay away from Greek men, stay away from Greek women, then you decide to actually do that, you could be blocking a potential blessing. Maybe. That's what I talked about earlier. Get your own view of these people. Don't just listen to what people say. Get your own view, draw your own conclusions, read them your own self. Have good discernment about each one that you run into. And also know the different type of Greeks. But let me tell you the different type of Greeks that you're probably going to see in college. Not going to lie to you. And for the third time now, this episode, I'm going to mention Greeks and D9 people that follow me, because there's quite a lot of it. Y'all can't get mad, because this is what I've been told from y'all. And then also from people that's not in it. So this is a collaborative one agreement thought. One type of Greek you're going to see is the chill Greek. This is the person that, yeah, they're in the org, but that org does not define them. Their org is not their whole personality. Hell, some people won't even know that they're in it. They got other obligations. Them joining their D9 is an honor, but it's not the greatest thing that they've ever done. They have other things to show for it. Sometimes they get tired of strolling. They may not want to do it all the time. They don't act Hollywood. You can have a regular conversation with them at any time. They're chill. Then on the inverse, and this is another Greek you're going to see the Hollywood Greek, the main character Greek. This is the person, and we all know somebody like this, unfortunately. They're like the face of that certain chapter of that org on your campus. They give off the main character energy. They're the person that everybody knows. Even when they go to other schools, folks know them. But on your campus, they're kind of going to be, you know, like they're the face of that certain org on your campus, bro. When you think of the AKAs or the Qs or the Sigmas or any org, the first person that you usually think of is probably that Hollywood one. They fit the description. Now, another type of Greek that you're going to see at your HBCU is the stroller. Now, this one can go two different ways. The first type is the more positive one. They look cool every time they stroll and they make it look good. Then you got a person that overdoes it. Every single time they're going to be out there, and you know they're doing it more so for attention rather than anything else. Like, you know, no matter how big or small the event, they're going to be there ready to be recorded. Again, nothing wrong with it. Again, we know some people like that. Let's just call it spade a spade. And for those that don't know what strolling is, it's basically like they're doing the organization's dance moves. So the stroller is the person that likes to dance the most, if you really want to think about it. Then you got the unapproachables. Those are the people that look mean to approach, obviously. Those are the people that look hard to approach. Not really the nicest of people. They're like the typical like Greek that you low-key see in the movies that we see. They're always in character, basically. You also got the service Greek. These are probably the best one out of the bunch. They're not in it for the glitz and for the glamour. They're in it for the work. Because, you know, the D9 orgs are there for, you know, to put in work and do service. They don't care about the strolling part. They don't care about the wearing the letters. They care about putting in the work, putting on the events. They care about helping people. When it's time to stroll, they might stroll, but they don't view it as important enough over like the business part of it. They want to keep the traditions alive. Those are the Greeks that are often appreciated and liked the most. Those are definitely there. Then last and certainly least, the super Greek. The super Greek is like the father of the stroller and the unapproachable and the Hollywood Greek. If you combine two archetypes of a Greek and put them in one, you're the super Greek. I ain't gonna lie to you. And again, for the fourth time, these are things that Greeks be saying. This is the person that makes being Greek their whole personality. They didn't have a life before they joined D9, and now they're in D9 and they feel like they the man. They feel like they that girl. They change. And at every given moment, every given day, all they do is rep the org. Again, it's their whole personality. Like the highest held of their life is that D9 org. They damn near respect their D9 org more than God. Like forever. And these are the type of people that once they graduate, they always come back. And these are the type of people, and again, like I'm not in these orgs. If you want to rep your org all the time, each and every day, that's cool. But just know people see you as a super Greek. Now, respect to all the D9 folks. I know a few people are going to watch this and all that. Don't tell me to stay in GDI's place, because sometimes y'all put the business out. So that's that. Now, before I get into the last topic, which is homecoming and all that junk, let me talk about something that I know folks don't ever talk about, which is the anonymous apps. FIZZ, SIDECHAT, knickknack, whatever. I'm going to just say one thing about it. There is nothing you can do to avoid being put on them apps, bro. I'm not going to lie to you, bro. It don't matter how quiet you are. It don't matter how known you are. You can end up on FIZZ or SIDECHAT, bro. Yeah, I'm a living testimony. The way I didn't been put on SIDECHAT, I should have a brand deal with them. Don't let it affect you, bro. It's all anonymous and it's all mess. That's all it is. Most folks don't even have it on their phone. If you're popular, you're probably gonna be on there at some point. Ask many people that have been on there. It'll be so many folks that just minding their business. And they'll end up getting a notification from somebody that there was a post about them on FIZZ or SIDECHAT. It's a new wave in HBCU culture, even in regular PWI college culture, that unfortunately you just gotta be strong enough to bear it. That's why you can't let what people think of you really like affect you. Cause I done seen people really be affected. Even me, the first time I seen myself on there, I ain't know how to feel. But see, sometimes you just gotta let people think like what they think. That's how you get peace amongst like your own self. But don't be panicky if you find yourself on SIDECHAT. But don't also think that you can't be on there. Cause again, I done seen motherfuckers that go to school online be put on there. Like, you feel me? And if you're on there being messy and you're like, I call it a SIDECHAT warrior or a FIZZ warrior, grow up a little bit, man. But it's not a big deal. You're going to be good. Now, let's talk about homecoming. Now, first of all, homecoming is going to be a great time. But let me immediately start by saying this. This homecoming schedule for 2025 is an abysmal catastrophe. It's the most tragic cataclysm, bruh. Nobody else wants to say it, but I will. It's one big giant clusterfuck. Why in the hell are so many of the schools on the same weekend? It's conflicting with me. I know I like to do an HBCU homecoming tour every year. It's heavily conflicting. NCAT, DSU, and Morgan same week, bro? Whose idea was this? Y'all know I do the homecoming tour, right? I wanted to go to FAMU. Oh, but I can't go to FAMU because my school's homecoming is on the same week as FAMU. Then to make matters worse, Grambling and Southern on that same weekend. NSU and VSU same week. What? I can't go to Spellhouse because same week as my schools. Howard, Hampton, same week. Like, they gotta redo this. Now, you could guess that they probably did this just to ensure safety, to get as many people, like, to not go to different homecomings as they usually would. But my God, making us choose like this, man, I hate it. Not gonna lie. It's absolutely disgusting. Like, every homecoming that's on the week of the 11th, I feel bad for them schools. And for the week of the 25th. Like, what are y'all actually going to do about that? And again, to all the freshmen, traveling for homecomings is something that's very, very common. I know I do it. It's something you're probably gonna get into. But let me tell you something, bro. That's the time to look your best. If you got your best outfits, your best clothes, best perfumes, best wigs, best nail sets, best everything, homecoming is time to pull it out. And Springfest. Springfest is basically the spring version of homecoming for me, but homecoming is going to be a crazy time. And for all these people at these schools that see me, that see this video and support this video and all that stuff, you might see me at your school, you feel me, during homecoming, because there's some big news that I got coming up when it comes to HBCU talk and partnerships and all that, even though I told myself I was going to be done with it, but I've been getting a lot of blessed opportunities and potential offers to, you know, keep doing big work in the HBCU world, which might include a radio show coming to y'all soon. But you guys stay posted to the Fax.Koolaid show and to the Fax.Koolaid social media pages. That's FAX.KOOLAID on every social media platform. Now, so all the freshmen that's seeing this video or that will come across it, bro, I hope this was enough. And feel free to always DM me at any single social media platform if you got any additional questions that you want me to answer. Because once school starts, I might not got the answers for you. But until then, I'm opening my DMs to any college freshman that want advice. You feel me? But other than that, I hope that this video did wonders for y'all, bro. I hope that y'all showed the love to it. Reels are going to be posted from it. And again, bro, it's been a long episode, the longest one in Fax.Koolaid history. This has been episode 22, HBCU Takeover Advice Edition. As I go out of here, of course, you already know what it is. Fax.Koolaid, I don't make the rules.